Oh, you take me to Liverpool, I'll take you to Infernos.
Yeah, you bought this horse for 800 quid.
It's like a good night out in London.
Your gilet would go down a storm there.
What good guy isn't on social media telling everyone about their life? I'm getting into running content in a big way. I just love it. I don't know if you enjoy, but...
Hello and welcome. Time for another Joe's Jockeys and Jackpots in partnership with Boyle Sports. I'm your host, Dave Orton. Each week, I'm joined by two very special guests. And we have a racing expert, in this case, ex-jockey and household broadcaster now, Luke Harvey, and the CEO of Clapham, Archie Curzon, joins me as well.
Thank you.
Archie, welcome along.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. It's a wonderful way to finish my Q1. And it's just great to be here. I love delivering the chats. I couldn't think of a better place to be.
Yeah, well, listen, you're the racing fan today, all right? So we're going to get through it. You'll hopefully learn a bit from Mr. Harvey as well.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I've just been chatting to Harvey, and he's an absolute legend. We're thinking of going for a few jars in Clapham after this.
Be very, very careful.
Or the Ned, which isn't too far. I'm a member of the Ned.
Of course you are.
It's got a swimming pool on the roof.
I find it very difficult to get in, so now you're my ticket, right?
Well, no worries. Honestly, you can come anytime, and I'll put it on expenses.
All right, absolutely brilliant. Luke, we're coming up to Aintree. We're about a week out from the three-day festival starting, the extravaganza. You won a Welsh Grand National.
Yeah.
Going back, what was the name of the horse again?
Cool Ground.
That's it, Cool Ground. And you have, of course, ridden in the Aintree showpiece itself.
Briefly, would you like to ride in the Grand National, Archie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking to have a bit of a chassis shred, and I think getting in that kind of shape would be phenomenal. So yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I wanted to. My first horse I rode was 500 to 1, and I fell off it after the 15th fence or something. And then the other one I rode was third favourite, and I genuinely thought this horse was going to win. And we all lined up, and everyone was getting excited, the crowd all cheering, you know. Anyway, we thundered down to the first fence because everyone goes up like a million miles an hour. And we were doing probably 35 miles an hour. And then this horse had never been this fast before and got to the first fence, just tripped over it and fell.
What did your form figures in the National read? Letters or numbers?
All letters. That's the only time I'll ever get letters by my name.
All right, but you are indeed the racing expert. All right, okay. We're down at the start. We've got the bit between our teeth. Let's get out the gates. Okay, looking ahead to Aintree, but of course it was just a Cheltenham Festival.
Yes.
And I believe, Archie, you were in situ.
Yeah, Cheltenham Hill's a very special place in my heart. I went to school there. It's the first racing course I ever went to. And that's where I really developed the 3 C's. You know, good chat, great chassis, and the ambition to make a lot of coin, which I have done now.
Great chassis.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's important when you're doing business. You know, it's not just this.
And you've got all the gear as well. I mean, normally you wouldn't see on every day walking up the street here someone with one of these sort of waistcoats with a funny collar.
Well, it's like, I haven't got my Rolex on today. I've got my Apple Watch, but I just like to, I mean, you can see I've nearly done all my calories and completed my rings. But this is just another sign of how successful I am. It's all about showing, not telling.
Yo, Dave's gone tweed as well. I feel a bit out of it.
I've activated tweed mode because I knew you were coming, of course.
Yeah, and Dave, actually, going to say you've got a phenomenal chassis as well. So
Indeed.
we've got 3 great chassis here.
Not an ex-jockey like Luke.
No, we've got a kind of rugby team here. You know, you're sort of like, I'd say, second row, back row. Harvo's number 9. I'm number 10, of course.
All right, but look, it's all about the National now. We've got to look ahead. Luke, what sort of horses do we look for? What is this year's National like? It's become a classier race, hasn't it?
As everyone knows, the Grand National's changed a lot over the years. The fences are much smaller, much easier. There's less runners in the race. The race is slightly shorter than it used to be. So you need a classier horse. You need a horse who potentially is nearly Gold Cup class.
Yeah.
But the one thing you still need is a horse to stay. They've got to get the distance. You know, it's very, very hard to get 4 miles plus, and a lot of horses sort of just weaken in that last half mile. But yeah, it's still a completely different race, even if it's not like it was in years gone by.
Yeah, some of the top contenders, of course. In that seat a couple of weeks ago, we had Shark Cannon, Ball Sports' very own ambassador, horse trainer, who told us that his Hewick...
You said that, yeah.
You know Shark?
No, Sharky very, very well.
Did you meet him at Cheltenham? He was there all week in the bar.
Unfortunately, I didn't, but I have emailed him a few times asking if the email finds him well and if he's willing to invest in a few schemes I've got going. So, I know him well.
I'm not sure he does email, actually.
No, he hasn't come back. So I'll try him on LinkedIn. I've got over 29,000 connections there.
Yeah,
so,
he's got a great website. Look him up. He has schemed Hewitt to the race, though, hasn't he? And he's now around about 12 to 1, I think, with Ball Sports, having been 66 to 1 when we did like episode 2 with Shark. He's quite confident, John, as it comes anyway.
But he's you'd hate to own a horse that he didn't fancy, to be perfectly honest with you. But with this horse, Hewitt, it's an extraordinary. He bought this horse, as he tells you, he'll tell you himself, for 800 quid. And he's gone on
a good night out in London.
Well, yeah. Or 3 in Cheltenham. But anyway, this horse has done phenomenally well. He won the King George. He's won all sorts of big races. And he won recently over hurdles with his son on board. And now he goes to Grand National, of which Shark says everything's right for him. The fences, the ground, everything seems right for this horse. So he continues to be a fairy tale horse, isn't he?
Can I ask a quick question? Sorry, just because I'm fascinated. When you say classier horse, what do you mean? Is that a horse that's gone to a better school, or what do you mean?
Yes.
What do you actually, better trainer?
With the horses, normally put racing plates on. They're classy. You put Gucci suede shoes on, you know. So,
really?
Yeah.
No socks.
No.
Very much a Dubai look.
Hewitt definitely didn't go to Eton, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
No. He's kind of come up the hard way as Hewitt.
But he had got Iron Maximus, who won the race last year in the race. There's lots
Intense raffles.
He
He was
won
an
the
Irish
Irish
national.
Grand National.
Yeah.
So you know that he's going to stay the trip. There's the horse called Beauport, who I think will run well. He's a 40 to 1 chance, and he runs in the colours of Corbière, who Jenny Pittman trained to win the Grand National.
But I need to write that down. 40 to 1 sounds like a great little flutter there.
Absolutely. He told John Barnes, who was the guest that week, that Hewitt would win over. He's gone and done it. And he's got Gav Sheehan back on. You gave Gav a really good mention. He didn't quite manage to get his winner at Cheltenham, but this is a marriage made in heaven, right?
Yeah, well, he won the King George on Hewitt, so he's a horseman as well as a very good jockey. So the fences shouldn't be an issue for him. And he's having the best season he's ever had. So he's flying along.
I think he's bomb-proof, Hewitt. All right, you heard it here first on Joe's Jockeys and Jackpots. Right, okay. So if you're mounting up for a bet, I mean, you've just been given a 40 to 1 shot, and Luke was down at the start. If you could ask him anything, what sort of along what lines would we be looking at?
I'm a novice horse racing fan, and I do notice a lot of people go and look at the horses in the parade ring. Like, I'd be interested to know just what are they looking at, or are they just pretending to know what they're talking about?
Some might probably be pretending, but when you go, the thing to do when you go into the paddock, you can tell. When you see some people, you can tell if they had a late night.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can tell with horses whether they don't look bright in their eye, they just don't look comfortable, they haven't got bounce in their step, and you can tell. Some horses, you just look at them, you think, you are the peak of condition. You're so healthy looking.
Is it just aesthetics then?
Yeah, it is really, because everything, like most athletes or rugby players or whatever, whether you ever talk to tennis players, everyone comes in different shapes and sizes. They're obviously fit because they're doing a physical job. But you get a small one. Hewitt's not very big, and then you get a huge big horse, and so you can't really. There's no sort of dynamic that fits.
I'm just thinking that's something we maybe bring to Clapham. Just get all the guys who are in great nick around the common, parade them round, and sort of have like a 100-metre sprint, but just based on aesthetics.
Tops off in the sunshine.
If I was in the sunshine, people were making me the favourite, honestly. I mean, the rig's probably not where it needs to be right now, but come May, honestly, ready for a bit of touch rugby on the common. Yeah.
Right.
Just a tiny little pair of rugby shorts, some flip-flops, and a rugby ball.
I think you'd be a market mover.
Yeah.
Springer, a gambled on winner. Archie Curzon at the front. Odds on. I like it. It's not just all about the horses, though. Of course, Liverpool comes alive. It's their big week in the sun. Looks like the sun's going to be shining as well. The culture around the National. Clapham to Aintree. Ladies' Day, of course. It's a big one on the Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I do love ladies. I do. I have snogged. I mean, I do love Ladies' Day. I imagine Ladies' Day is a little bit like Infernos in Clapham. I never really wanted to go up the north. The furthest I've been is Watford, and that was for a business meeting. But I am tempted to go to Liverpool. It does sound good.
And you'd be able to show him around, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I must admit, I like going up to Aintree.
Okay. Here we go.
I've never been to Infernos.
Okay, well, you take me to Liverpool, I'll take you to Infernos.
You might live to regret that, Archie.
We'll see on the rest
Honestly,
of that.
Harvey, come to Infernos and do a bum funnel with the rugby boys. It's great fun.
I love it. All right, and there are also, it's not just about the National itself, is it? There's loads of big supporting races.
Funny enough, largely people would think that the whole meeting's just about this one race, and some people don't even realise they race on the Thursday and the Friday. But the quality of the racing is as good as Cheltenham. Most of the horses that go to Cheltenham, for instance, Nicky Henderson sending Constitution Hill.
Yeah.
Well, you'd know that.
Yeah.
Who fell at Cheltenham, unfortunately. So he's going to go there. Lumumba, who just got beaten in the Triumph Hurdle. So, the quality of the horses is off the scale. It really is.
We saw last year's Gold Cup winner, of course. I know the way you're thinking winners and novice, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that as well. And, of course, it's not quite all changed yet, but the weather's coming out, and it's the Lincoln on Saturday. So the flat's coming back. Have you had a look at the race yet?
I have, yeah. We're talking about what sort of horse it suits. It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, we're still sort of in jumping mode, and then you go to flat racing, and then you have the Lincoln, and you have the few days at Donny, and then suddenly it all goes quiet again, doesn't it? Yeah,
it's a nightmare, really, to get you different formats on, isn't it? All right, that's this Saturday. We might be making some predictions about it a little bit later on. It's time to choose wisely. A lot of you will have doubtless been waiting for. It's time for us to choose wisely. You got your paddles ready, gents?
I'm ready. Well, I play paddle, so yeah.
Question 1. Okay, will Saturday's Lincoln Handicap at Doncaster on the flat be won by a horse 5 or older?
No.
Both negative Nellies.
Yeah. No.
What's the case? Why?
No, I think the 4-year-olds look to hold sway. Top 4 in the betting are 4-year-olds. I like Harper's Ferry, who had a really good season last season, has run in better class races, has won over the course and distance, and he's 4.
But there you go.
All right, so a 4-year-old wins. That's what we're getting. Let's go jumping, shall we? No, I know the way you're thinking. The Gold Cup winner has been scratched from Aintree, but will his trainer, Gavin Cromwell, have a horse finish in the first 3 of the Grand National?
No.
Negative again there, Archie.
I'm going yes.
Are you? Right, well, we'll have to have words after this podcast.
The Gold Cup winning trainer, he's got some decent contenders.
Stumptown, who won the cross-country race at the Cheltenham Festival, I think he's got a huge chance. He had top weight that day, he won really easily, and he's got a horse called Vanillier in the race as well, who's been placed in the race before, so...
Hopefully take the right course this time.
Hopefully you're wrong again.
No, you make a compelling case, I'll be honest with you.
Brilliant stuff. All right, will Willie Mullins, the all-conquering Irish trainer, train the winner of the Boyle Sports Irish Grand National?
100% yes.
He just wins everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy to know. So,
right, all right, absolutely.
He could easily do so. He's going to be mob-handed at this stage. We don't know what is, what's in the field, but I quite fancy horse Kill Crute.
Kill Crute, yeah.
He actually ran behind Hewitt over hurdles last time, and it's a really good prep, so he could be an interesting
You're siding
one.
with the enemy there, Shark, if you're watching. Question 4, will Harry Cobden off the mark at the Cheltenham Festival again? Will he ride 3 or more winners at Aintree's Grand National Festival? Answers, please.
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah, I'd be with Archie on this one. It's tough to ride a treble. Luke, why?
Well, he's just got some good rides. Caldwell Potter goes there. Can Do Kid in the Grand National. You'd like Harry Cobden. He'd wear that sort of waistcoat, and he's
got good style.
Oh yeah, well, no, not necessarily, but he would wear that.
Yeah. I'm not sure he's ever been to Clapham, though, mind, has he?
No,
it's never too late. Never too late. It's a great area.
He's very successful, and when he has a winner, he buys a cow.
Okay, that's interesting.
I know.
When I get a deal in the city, I just invest in various cryptocurrencies. So I mean, there's a lot of similarities there. So yeah, but I'll look. Why a cow?
Because he's a big farming man. He's got quite a big herd now.
Okay. I'll look into that. I'll get my PA Jennifer to look into that. Cows.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I make money on that?
Well, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. That or buy a new Rolex. Cow or Rolex.
You're both milking it anyway. All right. Will Gavin Sheehan ride a winner at Aintree's Grand National Festival over the 3 days?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, without doubt.
Luke, you could be his agent. I mean, you're singing this guy down, aren't you?
Well, he's having his best ever season. He rides Hewitt in the big one. Jamie Snowden's mob-handed there, his main trainer. So, yeah, I think he's going to have another fantastic festival.
Yeah, me too. Just like the way he looks and he's feeling at the moment. He's
a good-looking boy.
He is. Well, I just say that just leads. I think a lot of it is what I say to the guys in the change room before I play rugby, and it's actually the same thing I say to the guys in my office before we go for a meeting with a client. Look good, play good. You've got that, you'll smash it.
That's Sheehan all over.
That's us three.
He's called Gorgeous. His nickname's Gorgeous Gav.
Okay, nice. I like that.
Final question. Will John Bonn get back to winning ways at Aintree's Grand National Festival? The gasp of the Queen Mother Champion chase when he walked through that fence, Luke.
I hope so. Yes.
Won at the meeting last year, didn't he? Yeah, class.
Just a class act. John Bonn, he's going to smash it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, brilliant. I think that gives us enough. Now it's time to get in the saddle. Okay, this is where Archie Curzon is going to metaphorically jump in that saddle there. Have you ever been in a saddle? Have you ever ridden?
Not a horse, but we had something similar at boarding school that my head of dorm, Gleb Koshlev, made me do. But
All right, but never actually been on a horse. What race course has you been to? You mentioned Cheltenham. You're from Cheltenham?
Yeah. I mean, Cheltenham holds a very close place in my heart. It's the first race course I went. I've obviously done Epsom, but quickly turned around when I went there. It's a pretty scary place. I imagine that's what a war zone is like. I wasn't doing hospitality that
For the Derby?
Yeah, for the Derby. Terrifying. But Sandown, been to Sandown,
Yeah.
good race course like that. Great
Beautiful
for private
Anisha.
entertaining. Yeah.
Ride any winners around
I
Sandown?
think you always go to the Premier race courses by the sounds of things.
Yes. That's,
You're not that go to the little country tracks or anything.
I've done a bit of point to point. I enjoy
have
that.
you?
Yeah, I do enjoy that, and that's quite good to have a little flutter there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I enjoy
That seems to suit you, I think, point to points, where you have a picnic in the back of
Yes.
the Range Rover, quaffing champagne,
Yeah,
and then just watch a couple of horses in the distance pass you by.
Your gilet would go down a storm there.
I mean, that sounds like it sounds like a very safe crowd. That sounds very much like Clapham, but outside. And that's exactly why I like it. You know?
Okay, explain to us, Archie,
Yeah.
how your career got to where it is right now.
Well, in my career in City, it was pretty simple. I had my gap year in Canary Wharf, and in that year, I just knew that was for me. And so, very fortunately, my godfather gave me an opportunity in his company, and I've been there ever since. But I guess doing social media, it just felt right, you know. What good guy isn't on social media telling everyone about their life? And, you know, it's just nice to give people fitness advice. And just tell people about how good I am and how successful I am. I think it's really helpful. I'm getting into running content in a big way. I just love it. I don't know if you enjoy, but it's so accessible. You just hold your phone there and you run. It's just brilliant fun. And the community on Instagram, all those people, and what I've realised is the more followers you get, the happier you become. You really do. I'm fulfilled.
Are you a PT trainer then as well?
Well, not qualified, but I very happy give people advice anytime they want it. And
You can maybe give jockeys some advice on how to keep the weight down.
Yeah, well, in a way, I could do that. And when I'm at the races, I'm always giving people advice about what horses to bet on. Anywhere in life, I just tell people what I think. And I think that's why people really like me.
The captain
It
of
works in the
Clapham.
city.
What are you qualified for?
Good question. I'm qualified
Drinking?
to look. Well, yeah, I do love La Lash. It's part of the job I do. I'm qualified. Well, I'm one of the greatest semi-professional rugby players to play the game. I'm captain of the Clapham Falcons. I've done all my exams in the city, which means I can deal with large sums of money. And for various high net worth individuals, and I guess I'm verified on LinkedIn. So
That's one of us.
Life is good, and I'm here. This is a real highlight of my career.
It's a highlight to have you here. You know that Luke used to run a pub.
Did you really?
Yeah, not particularly successfully.
What was
I
it called
can't
again,
believe
Luke?
that. But you waft of success.
No, I wafted something, but it wasn't a success. I can assure you. No, it's harder work than you think.
Yeah.
It is harder work.
What was it called?
The Blowing Stone. It was called.
Where was it?
Just outside Lambourne. It was in a really horsey sort of area.
Yeah. It's a shame we didn't know each other then, because I could have come and influenced.
Yeah, I
Could have brought the masses.
just down the road. AP McCoy, the former champion jockey, moved in.
Snooze fest.
Well, I know, but it actually wasn't great for me because he's teetotal.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I met him at Cheltenham. Boring.
I heard about this. I heard about this.
I mean, look, well done in your career. That's great. But have you got any bit of banter? Zero banter.
Tell you what, AP's got a bashing on this show.
I love him. He's got-
No, look, fair play. He's one of the greatest sportsmen alive. But come on, mate, come alive when I'm here. Let's have a bit of chat.
If you could do any role in racing, what do you think it would be? With maybe a fitness, guru.
I always imagined at some point in my career I'll own a few horse races. That just feels like a good investment. And I like that look. I'd like to be on ITV in a way in the background, just collecting an award. But I think that would be later in my career when I've sort of binned off the chassis and I'm just on the red wine and the red meat. I've got a bit of a paunch, but it's like a wealthy paunch. It's sort of like, this is all paid for.
I'll tell you you'd be good at. You should be the starter.
Oh,
because we mentioned John Bond had a lot of controversy at Cheltenham about the starts, but you've got to have a really posh voice, which
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You've got to wear ridiculous tweed. Tick.
Here we are. Yeah.
And you just shout at the jockeys. Jockeys, come in, behave yourself.
Give it a go, Archie. Give it a go.
Jockeys, come in, behave yourself. It sounds a bit like what I do in the change room with the rugby boys. Sounds brilliant.
Well, to be honest, there is quite a few starter roles going after Cheltenham.
No,
so.
I won't. But hold on. Do I have to go to Liverpool? Maybe. Okay, I'll do Cheltenham. That's fine.
Yeah, okay, all right. Not past Watford. I remember that now. Do you like betting? Have you ever heard of bet?
Yeah. I had Pony Ross at Cheltenham, the 100 to 1. Yes.
Someone had to have it, right?
Yeah. Don't ask me how much, but because I don't want the taxman to find out. But it was a good one. Yeah.
Pony Ross.
So I do love a little bit of a flutter.
Funny enough, Harper's Ferry for the Lincoln. Pony Ross finished second to him.
There's a link.
At Windsor.
That's remarkable, isn't it? This is, of course, the horse that had never run over hurdles that went in the Triumph, 100 to 1. Just saw Mullins, did you, and thought, that'll do.
Yeah, but or somebody told me in the box I was that this is the one, and he looked like a shady character.
So look, based on your experience of going racing,
Yes.
how do you think racing could attract you to the Holy Grail, a younger audience, Archie?
That's a good question. We were actually talking before. I do feel like this day and age, sports needs a more behind the scenes, and it needs more competitiveness. Like we look at boxing. Eddie Hurt or like Eubank Ben. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I'm a novice horse racing fan, but I think I'd be more involved in horse racing if there was a storyline. If a jockey hated a jockey or horse trainer hated another horse trainer, and it was vocalised not so much to the horse racing community, but maybe to someone like me. And then I would probably be more engaged to go and see that race. Does that make any sense?
We're not sure of those stories, Luke, are we?
Well, he's got a point. What people do behind the scenes is not necessarily how it's portrayed when you see them in their sort of when they're working. But Champions Full Gallop there's a new it's the second series coming out, and it does delve in behind the what really goes on. It's people think the jockeys just turn up to the races in a big smart car, and then get off and then walk up a step ladder, jump on a horse, and then go and ride it and get back off. But truth be known, they're actually riding the horses out in the morning and then drive into the races miles, and so it's not as straightforward as it looks.
But is there rivalry? Are there jockeys that hate jockeys? And is there like a bit of like? Did you and AP come to fisticuffs?
No, he's quite tough.
I reckon you could have him.
Well, no, I don't think I would.
No, I don't think I would. With me training
I think I'd be getting a silver medal.
I'd get you on a calorie surplus. We get you in seriously good nick. Get you on the battle ropes.
There's a series. There's a series.
No, they do. Yeah. So people, they in the weighing room or the changing room before they go out, everyone's really friendly. But when you go out there, literally everyone wants to kill each other.
Because I think that's where younger generation are more looking for sport. That's why I think boxing, UFC attracts people, because there is that needle. It might be made up. I don't know, but I feel like if you're trying to attract young people, they want to come and see like two people go at each other.
Maybe in the parade ring just before they got on the horse.
Yeah. Tops off. We're not just looking at the horses. We're looking at little budgie smugglers.
Skins could be silks. All right, I like it. Yeah. Listen, I asked the question. Yeah. You know what, Archie? That was a journey, and we got to the finish line. Thanks for getting in the saddle.
No problem. I absolutely loved it.
That was absolutely brilliant, and that is actually all we've got time for.
Oh, unbelievable! Shall we go for lunch at the Ned?
Absolutely. Are we going into the Ned now, right?
Yeah, 3-course meal, nice bottle of Plonk, and bring your business cards, gentlemen.
Absolutely, Luke. Great to have you back on Joe's Jockeys and Jackpots. Archie, we'll see you again, right?
Thank you very much, mate.
Good luck in Clapham, old son.
Cheers, mate.
All right, brilliant. And thank you for watching. That is all we got time for then. Leave your comment below and join us next time.